Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty foundational for many the power families find when they pray together.
Right. We've got some really interesting insights pulling from Janet Thompson's work on IBelieve.com, but also, real life experiences. People
Ah.
have actually seen this happen.
Exactly. So, our mission really is to unpack why this shared practice can be so transformative for family life and hopefully give you some practical ways to maybe start doing this yourself.
Yeah, and the source material lays out about 6 core reasons, which gives us a great framework to explore this.
Okay, let's jump right in. The first big idea is about, well, recognizing God's role in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Making that conscious effort, that intentional time for prayer to keep the family sort of centered, grounded in faith.
It's so vital, isn't it? Life gets incredibly busy. I mean, our source even points to a fast-paced city like Hyderabad as an example. You really need that reminder to pause and connect.
Absolutely. And those specific times mentioned, like first thing in the morning, maybe bedtime, definitely around meal times, they act like little anchors.
Anchors, that's a good word for it.
Yeah, just moments to recenter during a hectic week. And something quite powerful they mentioned is the simple act of physical connection during prayer.
Like holding hands.
Exactly, holding hands. It sounds small, but it's a tangible way to reinforce that bond, with each other and with God,
Yeah.
even in public.
Right. It sends a message, doesn't it? Especially to kids. It shows them faith isn't just this separate thing you do sometimes. It's woven into the fabric of life.
And that naturally builds unity, which is, well, incredibly important when you think about all the different dynamics within any family, blended families, different perspectives. Prayer can be a common ground.
That leads nicely into the next point, actually, how prayer can soften hearts, help settle disputes.
Yes, this is fascinating. The source talks about it being like a soothing balm during conflicts.
A soothing balm. I like that
Mm,
because conflict often makes you want to just, dig your heels in.
Right. But prayer invites this shift away from the fight itself towards seeking peace, seeking understanding.
So it encourages what? Humility.
Yeah, humility, definitely. And forgiveness, reconciliation. It helps you see beyond maybe just your own hurt or anger.
There's that anecdote in the material, isn't there, about using prayer with young grandchildren when they were squabbling.
Yes, and how it just seemed to calm the whole situation down. It's a practical example of that immediate effect.
It really is. Okay, so moving on, another key insight is how praying together can actually reveal if someone in the family is hurting or maybe celebrating something quietly.
hmm This gets to a deeper level of connection, doesn't it? Prayer creates this space, almost a permission for vulnerability.
Yeah, things that might not come up in just, everyday how was school chat.
Exactly. Especially, as the source notes, with teenagers, who can sometimes be a bit more reserved about sharing what's really going on inside,
It's like the act itself, praying together, fosters a kind of intimacy and safety.
where maybe those unspoken worries or even joys they haven't mentioned can come to the surface.
And that simple question the source suggests, how can we pray for each of you today, feels like such a gentle key to unlock that.
It really does. It's more direct than just general conversation. It invites sharing on a different level.
Sort of like a regular spiritual check-in, as the material puts it.
Precisely. It helps parents get a clearer sense of their kids' challenges, their successes, maybe burdens they're carrying silently. And then you can offer real support or celebrate with them properly.
That naturally builds into the next point, fostering family unity.
Yes, because when you face decisions, big or small, together through prayer, it builds that sense of shared purpose.
You're not just individuals tackling problems alone.
Right. It reinforces the idea of the family as a team, working together, seeking guidance from a higher power.
And involving kids in that, asking for God's direction together, makes them feel genuinely valued, doesn't it? Like their input matters in the big picture.
Definitely. The example given of families praying before major changes like moving house or changing schools, that really highlights it.
Yeah, it shows how seeking guidance together fosters respect, even if opinions differ at first. It builds understanding.
So this idea of prayer isn't just about asking for stuff, right? It's also presented as a spiritual discipline, something you practice and grow in together.
Exactly. It's about learning, teaching children the language of prayer, helping them understand concepts like God's love, mercy, faithfulness, things mentioned in our sources.
And grappling with the reality that prayers aren't always answered in the way we expect or want. That's a huge life lesson in itself.
It really is. And crucially, it creates a safe space, doesn't it? For asking those big, sometimes awkward questions about faith,
Expressing doubts without feeling judged.
which is so important for developing a genuine faith.
And this shared practice, as the material points out, it equips kids. It gives them the tools and the confidence to pray on their own, spontaneously, and build their own personal prayer life. It's a foundation.
A foundation for their whole lives, potentially. Which brings us to the last major point, the power of setting an example.
Ah, yes. This feels really significant.
Hmm.
What parents do often resonates far more than what they just say.
Totally. The material even brings in a cultural perspective, mentioning how in some cultures, like in India, the example of elders is hugely important. It's a universal principle, really.
Absolutely. Kids watch everything. So when they consistently see their parents turning to prayer, making it a priority in good times and bad, it just becomes ingrained.
It becomes a natural response for them, too.
Exactly. It's less about instruction and more about imitation. It's a legacy of faith passed down through action.
That story about the blended family really drives this home, how their commitment to praying together consistently created unity and built faith where maybe it could have been fractured.
It's a powerful testament to just sticking with it, isn't it? Even when it's not easy.
Definitely. So, okay, for anyone listening who's thinking, this sounds good, but how do I actually start? Our sources have some practical advice too.
Yeah, and the key seems to be don't overthink it. Start small.
Right. Simple prayers, even just moments of quiet reflection together. No need for grand speeches.
And linking it to things you already do, like meals or bedtime routines, that makes it easier to build the habit. Less pressure.
Good point. It becomes part of the rhythm rather than another thing to schedule.
And crucially, be patient with yourself, with your family. It's not always going to be perfect or profound. Some days it might feel a bit mechanical. That's okay.
Consistency over perfection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the main thing, echoed throughout the sources, is just pray from the heart. Sincerity is what counts, not fancy words.
So just to pull it all together then, praying together helps families really focus on their core beliefs.
Right? It can smooth over conflicts, build understanding,
Reveal what's truly going on beneath the surface for everyone.
fosters that deep sense of unity, of being a team,
Helps everyone grow spiritually, learn together.
and sets a really powerful, lasting example for kids.
It's quite amazing, really, how these seemingly small, consistent actions can potentially have such a profound positive impact on the whole family's well-being.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? So maybe final thought for you listening. What if you intentionally carved out just a few moments each day or even a few times a week for some kind of shared prayer?
How might that simple, consistent act start to shift the feeling in your home, strengthen those bonds?
Yeah, what new understanding or maybe what unexpected peace could start to emerge from that practice? Something to consider.